Former First Lady Barbara Bush's funeral preparations have been rocked by a scary event. First Lady Melania Trump will be attending without the president, which is causing the liberal media to hyperventilate since Barack and Michelle Obama and Bill and Hillary Clinton will be there. Here's what the mainstream media refuses to report as they try to make the president look heartless. The mainstream media is viciously attacking Melania Trump today. Ever since it was announced that she would be attending Barbara Bush's funeral solo, the vultures have been busy spreading ridiculous stories about Melania and President Donald Trump. There are two stories dominating the headlines about Melania. First, several left-wing outlets are bashing her on the way she wears her coat, but we'll have more on that later. The bigger story that they refuse to report is why the First Lady is traveling to Mrs. Bush's funeral without the president. These so-called journalists really are pathetic. So, we did some digging and found out the real reason President Donald Trump won't be attending Barbara Bush's funeral. Wherever the POTUS goes, it's a security nightmare. Trips must be planned weeks in advance, and if by chance he must travel at a moment's notice, the extra cost and extra security is a real hassle. Then, Wednesday, Dallas News reported security concerns arose in Houston at the church that will host former First Lady Barbara Bush's funeral after a man was seen on the roof at St. Martin's Episcopal Church. Police set up a perimeter around the area and deployed a helicopter in the search, but they couldn't find the man. There is a lot of attention to this church over the next few days, Houston Police Lieutenant Larry Crowson explained. We're concerned anytime somebody's on the roof of a church at night, but especially with the coming events, he added. According to Politico, the White House issued a statement saying, First Lady Melania Trump will attend the memorial service for Barbara Bush this Saturday on behalf of the First family. To avoid disruptions due to added security and out of respect for the Bush family and friends attending the service, President Trump will not attend. So, this makes perfect sense. The Bushes have no desire to turn the funeral into a three-ring circus, and the president has no desire to cause undue stress for the grieving family at this most somber event. But the rumor mill wants to make Trump out to be an uncaring meanie who doesn't want to be around his wife or give his respects to the Bush family. Fox News set the gossipmongers straight, reporting, it's not uncommon for sitting presidents to skip the funerals of former first ladies. After all, former President Barack Obama did not attend the funeral of Nancy Reagan in 2016 or Betty Ford in 2011. Melania is undoubtedly the most gracious and classy FLOTUS left, especially when you compare her to Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton, even if she wears her coat over her shoulders, which is the topic of several articles today meant to degrade her even more as she attends the funeral. Before we get to the ridiculous bashing of Melania over how she wears her coat, first check out how the press praised Meghan Markle for doing exactly the same thing. Town & Country magazine reported, Meghan Markle is wearing a midi dress from Ulch's era, with button details, sky-high black stilettos, and a blazer by Camilla and Mark. Like a true fashion lover, she opted to wear it off the shoulders. The UK Times reports on Meghan Markle shrouding, which is the word used for wearing your coat over your shoulders. Shrouding, darling, is short for what we fashionistas call shoulder robing. It's this thing called a portmanteau. Quite a funny concept, actually. You should look it up, reports the UK Times. Oh, but when Melania Trump wears her coat like that, it's a fashion disaster. Following her trip to the Opioid Memorial Center a couple days ago, she posted the image below on Instagram, writing, "Very moving visit today. Prescribed to death Opioid Memorial on the ellipse is a worthwhile partnership between at White House, at US Interior, and at National Park Service." Number stop everyday killers. Immediately, the leftist fashion divas got their sharp knives out and trashed how she wears her coat. Slate magazine's article titled "Why Melania Trump Rarely Uses Sleeves as They Were Intended, A Few Theories" was just hateful and stupid, including their take on her Instagram pic. The sleeves of her pink overcoat hung like dead fish from her shoulders, with no arms to shape them, or hands to give them a natural end. Her unclothed arm, meanwhile, reached out from within to touch the wall. The optical effect made her look inhuman, with the wrong number of limbs attached at all the wrong angles, reported Slate magazine. Trump haters started this trend, bashing FLOTUS a few months back. Twitter user and rabid Trump hater Donnie tweeted, "At Melania Trump, why don't you actually wear your coat instead of draping it? Your number not Bitman." Another idiot going by Lug once tweeted, "What's with number Melania Trump always draping a coat over her shoulders? Is she trying to give us the impression that it's a cape? Number not Wonder Woman, number me FLOTUS, number turkey pardon, number fall, number toddler rinchif." That's all these Trump haters have got? Wow, that says it all. This is just catty and immature. Trump supporters are laughing over their desperation. If that's all these liberal losers can come up with, along with Melania going solo to Barbara Bush's funeral as some big conspiracy, the First Lady is not only winning big time, she is doing it with grace and class, and yes, with her coat draped over her shoulders.